Right, good afternoon. Welcome to the lesson on photosynthesis equation. What you need to make sure you do is copy down notes exactly like I've got my notes, because you're going to need them later. You're going to find from following through here you've got every single bit of information that you need in order to get every single question right on the quiz. Okay, so photosynthesis is a chemical reaction. I think that's the most important thing to think about to start with. It's a chemical reaction that happens inside the leaves of green plants, pretty much everywhere. Okay, so it happens inside the leaves of green plants. So photosynthesis is a chemical reaction that happens inside the leaves of green plants. Don't forget, when we're looking at plants, the leaves are basically an example of a plant organ. So like we've got stomach and liver and heart as organs. Plants have got leaves and roots and stem as their organs. So photosynthesis happens inside the leaves of green plants. It's a chemical reaction, and the whole point of it, the whole purpose, is to make glucose. So the reason that a plant would carry out photosynthesis is to make glucose, which is an example of a sugar, and that way it's got that for lots of other processes it needs. We won't go into those now. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at how does this actually happen. We're going to draw a diagram, and then we're going to summarise that as an equation. Okay, so shockingly bad at drawing, but you need to try and draw something similar to this. Basically what you need is, that is a leaf. I need to clarify because quite frankly, who knows, which is attached to a stem. And then at the bottom of the stem, we've got roots. Okay, so that's a bit of a dodgy drawing, but these here are the roots of the plant. Up there we've obviously got a leaf. We just said photosynthesis happens inside the leaves. So if I zoom in to a leaf and I make a giant cell, okay, so that is basically a cell inside the leaf. If we look inside that cell, they contain, and I am making this ginormous and it's not actually ginormous, they contain lots and lots and lots and lots of chloroplasts. Okay, so a chloroplast is something that you find inside of a plant cell, and it's what we call an organelle. Okay, so organ, like a plant organ, would be a leaf, and then the L bit on the end is like really, really tiny. So organelles are things that are found inside cells. They're like cell organs, really. So inside of our plant leaf cell, we have lots and lots of chloroplasts, and they are the place that photosynthesis happens. Inside the chloroplasts is something called chlorophyll. So chloroplasts contain chlorophyll. So that is basically a pigment. It's green, and that's why plant leaves look green. Okay, so let's just quickly clarify. Here's our plant with roots, stem, leaves. Inside the leaf we've got a cell. Inside that cell we've got lots and lots of chloroplasts, and they are examples of what we call organelles. And inside those chloroplasts is a green pigment called chlorophyll. Now what that green pigment called chlorophyll does is it absorbs sunlight. Okay, so it doesn't actually matter if it's sunlight or if it's artificial light. The point is, and this is really important that you don't get muddled up and just write sun, the really key thing is that chloroplasts absorb light. Okay, so that chlorophyll, what does it do? It absorbs light, and that light might be from the sun or it might be from a lamp, doesn't matter. So chlorophyll inside this chloroplast absorbs light, and it uses that energy, because light is a type of energy. So it uses that light energy for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so we've got a cell inside our leaf. It has a chloroplast in it. That chloroplast contains chlorophyll, which is a pigment, and that chlorophyll absorbs light, this light energy up here, and by doing that it can carry out photosynthesis. Okay, now other stuff is needed. It's no good just absorbing light. You need other things to carry out photosynthesis. There's basically two main things that are needed. Okay, so number one thing that goes in is carbon dioxide. As you probably know, carbon dioxide is a gas. Carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis, so that goes in. And then the other substance that is needed for photosynthesis is water, which goes in through the roots, up the stem, and into the leaf cell. So photosynthesis inside of a leaf requires carbon dioxide gas, and it requires liquid water, and those both go up into these cells. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, absorb the light energy, and together these two substances can produce some products. They produce the useful product, which is spelled wrong, glucose. So I hope you can see that properly there, Glucose. So glucose, and glucose is basically a sugar. We said that up here. So glucose is produced, and then the other thing that is produced, which is kind of a waste product, but which is really useful to us, is oxygen. Okay, so we can summarise now all of that in one equation. Okay, if we have a look at this, we can say, and you need to learn this equation, we can say that carbon dioxide plus water, with the help of light energy and chlorophyll, produces glucose and oxygen. Okay, so we can, if I get this all on the page, let's see if we can get this all on the page. Apparently not. Okay, so inside of a plant cell, chloroplasts containing chlorophyll absorb light energy, and they take carbon dioxide and water. They use their light and their chlorophyll to produce glucose and oxygen, and glucose is the useful product.